Good, hello again, and this is week 2 of this Who Hates the Metta Bhavana. So I'm going to take you a little bit further in how to stay with Vedana, which is, remember, the word for sensation in Sanskrit and in Pali. What I'm going to assume is that in between times you've been trying the Metta Bhavana out in the way that I've been explaining. It'll work best if you've tried for a week to do what we did in week 1. And then it'll make more sense as we build up. Anyway, so this week, staying with Vedana. So Vedana, particularly around the belly and the chest. Sometimes people say that they can't feel anything, any particular sensation in those areas. That's fine. You don't need to have strong sensations going on, strong Vedana going on. It might be that there's nothing much there at all. That's okay. See if you can just stay aware of what it feels like to have nothing much going on. That's, quite an art. It can be difficult to stay with sort of neutral experience. So see if you can train in just coming back to an awareness of the belly and an awareness of the center of the chest and the heart center, even if there's not much going on. Or you might immediately notice that, there is some sensations going on. And then it's more a case of seeing if you can sort of deepen your awareness of those sensations. You're trying to feel into them. You're trying to see if you can take an interest, a sort of gentle curiosity in what is this? What does it feel like? Does it have an emotional flavor to it? So for example, if it's pleasant, probably there's a sense of joy or freedom associated with the pleasant sensations. If it's unpleasant, can you tell what the emotional quality is of the unpleasant experience? Can you be curious about that? Why is this a bit unpleasant, or even very unpleasant? So for example, if I notice that my chest and belly feel quite tight, it might be that if I stay with that tightness, I notice that that's because I'm anxious. So there's some sort of anxiety there. I might already know that before I start, as it were, but can you then start to feel what anxiety feels like in the body without pushing it away? Yeah? Underneath that, there might be, if I stay with it, some other sort of experience. So sometimes underneath anxiety, I get to a deeper level of sort of fear, insecurity, a certain not wanting something, perhaps something that I'm anxious about in the future. I get to just a more inchoate sense of unpleasant insecurity. And that's all right too. In this course, I want all of our experience to be okay. It's not wrong. It's not what shouldn't be happening. That the art is to see if we can stay with our experience in a kindly, gentle, curious, interested way. That's what we have to learn to do. So yes, see if you can bring the people to mind in each of the stages, and then really with subtlety explore what happens in your body. Now, if you find yourself getting lost in your head with stories are very common. It's called prapancha in Sanskrit. If prapancha takes over, notice that. Don't give yourself a hard time for it, but on the other hand, don't let it run away with you. So see if you can then let go of the prapancha and come back to the body. The thing is, the prapancha may give you a clue as to how you are. So if the stories that I was having were all sort of fear-based, anxiety-based, then obviously I'm probably feeling anxious somewhere in my experience. See if I can let go of the story, but come back to how does the anxiety actually feel in the body. Yeah. So we're letting go of narrative, of story, and then trying to stay with actual direct experience, physical sensation, Vedana, and then seeing if we can go underneath. Vedana often happens in layers. Go underneath one layer, see if there's something beneath it. There might not be, but we just take a kindly, curious sort of interest in the Vedana, see what arises.